That's a girl. That's a girl. All right. Hi, guys. I'm here with Winnie, and I believe this is her day 5 with us. She just spent the weekend and all that, so I gotten a really good chance to know her and understand her as a dog. And so before we go on to our lesson today about our loose leash walking, I got to first talk about how, sorry, she has an eye booger and I can't not take it away. Okay, anyway, sorry. Before we get into the lesson about how to do loose leash walking, I want to, while you watch the loose leash walking section, you're going to need to understand, like, what is the input output between myself and this dog that is creating the behavior we want, okay? So when you watch us do this session, there's some key things that I do that apply almost everywhere, the fundamental laws of dog training. And I'm just over here I'm gonna execute some of those fundamental ideas. And because I do that, you're gonna see this dog respond, okay? And it's quite simple. I'm gonna break it down, okay? So on one hand, what we're gonna be doing is, we talked about it a little bit last video, is talking about positive reinforcement. For us, for her, I've already classically conditioned, which means to pair a sound, in this case, the word yes, to a immediate reward. So she associates that sound with the idea that, I did something right and I'm about to get rewarded. Being rewarded makes a dog feel extremely good, and therefore the dog wants to repeat that action, the sequence of events that took place. Like, she shows up excited to see me, she jumps, nothing happens, all of a sudden she sits. Well, I want to say yes as soon as she sits so the dog can understand it's the moment I sat that this good feeling was able to come to me. And we give them a good feeling by giving them a piece of food, right? The dogs that are food motivated. Now, when we do the loose leash walking, we have to understand one more part about training a dog. And it's how to explain to them that the immediate choice that they just made, whatever that choice may be, wasn't correct. So we need to change a behavior, okay? So when you think about the negative reinforcement part, what we're going to talk about is how to redirect them away from one direction to another direction. And the willingness to change their mind from, I'm going to go that way, I hear some communication or I feel communication, therefore I have now changed my mind. That has to be the next step in the process, right? We have to be able to convince them that it's good to change your mind. So when we talk about corrections and guidance, I'm talking about saying no or and using a leash or whatever it may be, or the e-collar later, to achieve the dog changing their mind. So I'm going to kind of work with her today, and I want you guys to pay attention, because this is the stuff that's going to come back when the dog goes home, whether the dog is able to sustain its good behaviors, right? If the dog is being communicated with like positive reinforcement that the dog understands and negative reinforcement that the dog also understands, then you're going to have successful behavior changes, right? So when it comes to her and we have only started doing some loose leash walking practice, so this is fairly new to her, and I'm going to demonstrate how communicating correctly will actually help us build the behavior, right? And then when the behaviors build, continuing this trend will carry the behavior all the way forward. So anyways, my wife just walked in and she got a little bit distracted, but I'm not super concerned about that. Okay, so I'm going to put this chair away and we're going to kind of get into it. And I'm going to try my best to talk to you, but I'm going to focus a lot on her. And we're going to always start with a nice polite sit. Yes! Again, just reaffirming for her. As soon as she does something good for me, I'm going to give her something. My goal is to keep her on my left side here. And I want this spot to be the green zone. Yes! So if she's in the green zone, I always want to give her a treat. I want to fix her position, so I'm guiding her this way. Yes. Now that she's in the position, I'm going to give her the yes so she understands that's where I get rewarded. So as we walk, she just has to be in the green zone. So if she tries to leave, I will use my leash to bump her, to give her some guidance. Yes, and guide her into the right spot. There's my girl. She kind of doesn't understand why I'm talking to the camera. I normally don't do this with her. Come on, buddy. Right here. So we're going to use our leash to block that she understands. Okay, that was nowhere to go. I'm going this way. Yes, you got a reward here. Okay, come on, bud. As soon as she stays with me, look, she left, the little bump. Yes, good girl. The little bump is designed to give her the understanding, I'm not supposed to go that way. But as soon as she reacts to me, giving her that information in a positive way, I want to tell her I appreciated that response, so I'm going to give her a reward. This way, right here. Good girl. There's a girl. Good, yes. Good job. And you can see she's figuring it out. Come on. A little help with the leash to keep her in the right spot. Good girl. Good girl. Come on, right here. Yeah, good girl. There you go. Yes. Super. Notice I can say a lot of good girls, but I don't say the word yes until I'm super happy with what she's done. Yes, good girl. I'll direct her back right here, and you can sit. Yes, good girl. Nice job. Okay, we're going to go one more time. Good girl. She remembered from last time? Guide her back away. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. There you go. Come on, right here. There's a good girl. Good job, buddy. Good girl. Yes, there it is. Good job. Good girl. And she's having to think hard, and she's having to understand that some options are not a choice, and that's a pivotal part of a dog's training, right? As they do these, come on, buddy. As they do these exercises, they learn, like, it's not up to them to make this decision. I want her to stay right here. But if she does this successfully, there's a girl. There you go. If she does this successfully, there's going to be a yes in it for her. Atta girl. Super. Okay. All right. Let me get my chair again. It's my dog. This kind of training and just, that a girl. Simple, again, an example, like she does something she wants to do, I just simply say, like as in, hey, that choice you made, that choice you made, that behavior wasn't a good behavior. I communicated that, she changed it, immediately got on the floor, and this is where I want to interact with her. Leave your tail alone. Come here. Sit. Sit. There you go, good girl. Super. This kind of communication, this kind of seeing this much in detail and helping her understand like what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, being in communication. Now remember, this is communication. Nowhere does she ever get punishment. No one has to yell at her. No one has to hurt her feelings. It just has to be, I won't allow you to go behind me. I won't allow you to go that way. I won't allow you to jump on me, to interact with me. But and being consistent about these things and that communication slowly starts to morph this dog. And slowly she's understanding, hey, Jeff's the one making the calls here. I have no other choice but to follow, but in the most best way possible, you know? And it doesn't have to be one where the dog thinks this is a bad thing at all. So I just wanted to make sure that we understand communication and what the yeses mean and how to communicate the no. And how we use that to build behaviors, and then later on, how we're going to use that communication to sustain behaviors. So if you guys are good and understand it, let me know. If you guys have any questions on any parts of this, also let me know. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching.